Listen!
Welcome everyone, this is Andre's Restart, and today we are talking about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So maybe you have, maybe you haven't heard, there's been some new updates to the Mario Bros. Website that are indicating some other possibilities, and there's also been an ESRB rating update as well that's giving some additional implications to the game. And what I want to get to today are these updates, but there are some things I've noticed that I don't think everyone else has noticed. Maybe you have, so let me know in the comments below. If there's anything else you discovered, please also let me know in the comments below. But there's some exciting things that are going on here that I want to talk about today. Now, before going forward though, let me point out that we are aiming to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. With your help, it just might be possible. So something I've noticed about Mario Bros. Wonder is that the power-ups are transformations, as we've seen with Elephant Mario. So I've been keeping my eyes peeled for different things that may or may not be related to that. And something I was wondering is if maybe the spiked ball could be one of those transformations. And it is, but it doesn't seem to be based off an animal. At first I was maybe wondering, is this based maybe off an armadillo or something like that? But here it just shows the spike wrecking ball thing, and it just says wreak havoc as a giant spike ball. So I think it's just part of actually just the Wonder effects from the Wonder Effect flower, and that's pretty much it. But that doesn't mean there can't be other transformations. When we get to this part here, it says characters and power-ups. Choose from familiar characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, and Toad, then transform them with new power-ups. So when you read this, it's saying then transform them with new power-ups. So the same way Mario transforms into big ol' cute cool Elephant Mario, the other characters are going to be able to transform as well. So there will be more transformations that have yet to have been revealed that could very well be power-ups. But I actually think we've already observed another transformation, and they revealed it early on, we just didn't realize, and I'll get to that in a bit. But something else I want to point out here that's kind of a big deal is that this text also suggests something else that you may be realizing now based off the title of this video. Choose from familiar characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, and Toad. So what's interesting about this is they say, like these characters, but from what we've seen so far, these are all the characters. So this line inherently implies there will be other characters. So who are going to be these other characters? Well, in prior games, Rosalina has been included into the roster. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rosalina is a character we unlock later down the road. And also, there could be multiple colored Toads. But going beyond that, what about Bowser? There have been games where Bowser has been involved in some way, shape, or form. Well, we also got an update on the ESRB page. And when we read the ESRB page, it says, this is a platform game in which players control characters from the Mario universe as they try to stop the villain, Bowser. Players traverse whimsical environments while jumping on enemies' heads, throwing shells objects at them, or tossing small fireballs to knock them off screen. Boss battles contain more involved combat against giant enemies that breathe fire and smash parts of the scenery. So this part right here doesn't really suggest anything about Bowser being a playable character later down the road. But it does say something interesting about boss fights. They're going to be more involved, there's going to be giant enemies, they're going to be able to smash the scenery. That's making boss fights seem to be a little bit more epic than we've seen in prior 2D Mario games, and that alone is very exciting. But back to this idea of playable Bowser. Here they're telling us that Bowser is the villain, and maybe that doesn't come as a surprise because Bowser usually is always the villain in Mario games. However, with what we've seen in Mario Bros. Wonder, both Bowser and his kid look to be under some sort of brainwashing. When we take a look at the ship and we see Bowser, there's a different color palette to them. The eyes are kind of weird and almost look like they're entranced. This is not typical Bowser and Bowser Jr. This is something a little different. So I speculate, given that we know this is in the Flower Kingdom and not the Mushroom Kingdom, that there could be another threat involved here. When we pay attention to the promotional material, we have seen that they're carrying around this caterpillar character who has a crown. So I think there's a pretty darn good chance this caterpillar is the king or some level of royalty within the Flower Kingdom. So if this caterpillar is with Mario and friends, perhaps they had to escape from another threat and the caterpillar brought Mario and friends to this kingdom, and normally Bowser wouldn't be attempting to take over another kingdom, potentially. His focus would be on Peach and the Mushroom Kingdom, at least we assume. So the overall point here between this and what appears to be something different going on with Bowser and Bowser Jr., there could be another villain at hand here, and perhaps later game, once we've beaten a whole bunch of things, we've gone past a certain point in the story, Bowser could potentially become a part of the party as well, or maybe even Bowser Jr. So when we take a look at this small description here where it says truth from familiar characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, and Toad, I think there could be a few other characters added to the roster. But I want to go back to something I said earlier about there being other transformations we may have seen already. So based off this description, we know there are going to be other transformations, other power-ups involving other characters. Will they have unique or exclusive power-ups or transformations? That remains to be seen. Some people have been speculating that based on what we're seeing with Elephant Mario, but I don't think that's confirmed at this point yet, so we shall see. But I do think we have seen at least one more transformation. So keeping in mind that our roster is going to be using power-ups to transform into other characters, let's now take another look at the promotional material. So just scrolling up here because they have it here. Let's look at the roster we have here. We have Elephant Mario, which is what Mario transforms into. We have Daisy, we have Yoshi, we have Peach, we have Luigi, we have the caterpillar with this weird flower crown thing, which I think definitely supports more of the idea that this is royalty of the Flower Kingdom. We also have the Talking Wonder Flower, we have Yellow Toad, and we have this Goomba here with a blue toad hat. Interesting. This elephant here is wearing a Mario hat. And this entire shot here is showing the main cast, the playable characters. No villains or antagonists. There are these blue rhino triceratop bull things here, but I think that's something you can ride on. So that's a little different. I think this Goomba is not actually a Goomba. I think this Goomba is actually a blue toad. It is an example of another transformation via power-up. And what's interesting about this is that we've seen all the Goombas sleeping around. Why are they sleeping around? I think that's related to the potential brainwashing of Bowser and Bowser Jr. Perhaps they can now sleep on the job because their bosses are not quite who they are, or maybe this brainwashing has had larger impacts upon the Bowser army. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is somehow tied into the idea that there are going to be power-ups that cause transformations into different things, including Goombas, and I think that's strongly hinted at here with this Goomba wearing a blue mushroom toad hat. I mean, it's even sliding down this pipe here. This isn't like a normal Goomba that's on the offense to attack things. It is platforming. I think that's a really important point to make here. This isn't just a Goomba that's stolen a hat or what have you. This, I'm pretty sure, is a transformation of a blue toad. But what do you guys think? Do you agree here that this is likely a transformation for Blue Toad? Do you think that there's something going on with Bowser? Maybe later down the road Bowser can become part of the party? Do you also agree that Rosalina will be added to the party? What other ideas do you have for potential power-ups or transformations? Let me know in the comments below. This is Andres Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.